The world's most advanced AI, ChatGPT, has passed the 100 million user mark. That seems like a lot first, but compared to the worldwide population of 8 billion people, this number seems very small. Just 1.2% of the world's population have tried it. We are living in an era comparable to the dot-com age, with enormous financial opportunities. In 1998, the internet had cracked the 100 million user mark. And now, 25 years later, over 5 billion people use it. So what does that mean for us? It means that right now is probably the best time to get into AI. It's a megatrend similar to the internet, and after using AI tools for the past couple months, I'm certain it will change all industries within the next decade. Hey there, I'm Lucas, and I'm glad that you're watching this video. Today we'll talk about 7 essential features of the all-new ChatGPT4 and how you can best benefit from it. So let's get started. The first new feature is the extension of the process volume. You can now process up to 25,000 words with one prompt. The older version of ChatGPT was limited to about 3,000 words. But of course there are many longer documents with more words. So the team behind ChatGPT decided to increase that number, and the process volume now has increased times 8. Especially in the academic field, this function is groundbreaking because you can now summarize or analyze even longer articles or essays. This function itself is revolutionary, but keep watching the video to learn about 6 other new awesome features of ChatGPT4. A big criticism of ChatGPT was the lack of an online function. Of course, ChatGPT is an online web app, but it does not process current information, for example, the World Cup or elections. ChatGPT only accesses a massive database with data until 2021. And this is changing now, sort of. You can now feed ChatGPT internet links, such as Wikipedia articles, and the tool scans the page and can now process the given information. The tool can now handle up to 25,000 words, which makes it possible to pretty much analyze any subpage of any website. And this function will make it much easier to train ChatGPT with your own data. Since the new version can now process up to 8 times the data, the big question is, does it understand the context correctly? For example, how does it find the key factors of a 25,000 word article about an electric vehicle? OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, does not give us an exact answer. But the new version 4 can solve difficult problems with a greater accuracy thanks to a broader general knowledge and better problem-solving functions. According to OpenAI, it now understands context in a much more human way, making it more applicable in practice. The new advanced reasoning functions make it possible to understand complex instructions. Let's say you develop an app where all you have to do is take a picture of your fridge and you will get recipes based on the food you have at home. This function is now possible through ChatGPT's visual recognition. In fact, OpenAI has shown us such an example where they analyzed an image with eggs, milk and flour and asked for recipe ideas. Based on these ingredients, ChatGPT has proposed a few meal suggestions, for example, crepes, French toast or pancakes. A company that already uses ChatGPT's visual recognition successfully is Be My Eyes. The app can provide information on virtually anything that is photographed in some form. Other companies already benefiting from the new features are Duolingo, Morgan Stanley and Khan Academy. I think especially in the education sector, these new visual input features will become incredibly important in the future. Imagine that every student in the world has access to a tutor for any subject at any time. Such a feature could potentially close the education gap between rich and poor. I think we all know that ChatGPT is not 100% accurate, but it could still make a huge difference. Because having 90% or 95% accurate information is still better than having 0%. OpenAI has shown in the past that it performs very well on basic information validated from many sources. And in developing countries, it is precisely this basic information that is often lacking. With the new engine, one page of generated text costs about $0.0012 US. that is less than a cent. Let's compare this with a classic textbook for school. If a 100-page book costs about $20, then the price per page is 20 cents. In this scenario, the AI text would be 166 times cheaper than the classical textbook. But of course, the information content must keep up with existing solutions, such as well-researched textbooks. And that brings us to the next improvement of ChatGPT4. They've spent the last 6 months working on one big drawback of ChatGPT: accuracy. In fact, ChatGPT4 is now 82% less likely to respond to requests for disallowed content and 40% more likely to produce factual responses. In the future, we'll probably see significant improvement when it comes to accuracy because OpenAI collects more and more human feedback. This automatically means the more feedback they get from real humans, the more accurate the program will be. Similar to the early days of the internet, this technology also has its problems. On the one hand, it is important to recognize the current accuracy errors, but on the other hand, you should be aware that many of these problems will probably be solved in the next few years. People who view the status quo as permanent will ultimately miss this megatrend. Another outstanding feature, which was not yet possible in older versions of ChatGPT, is the input of multiple instructions. After working with the tool for about half a year, this improvement in particular stands out to me, because now you can ask multiple questions at the same time and actually get a reasonable result. And this allows all of us to work much faster with the tool. The last feature I want to talk about today is creativity. It is more creative and collaborative than ever before. You will now be able to generate content such as essays, song texts, or even screenplays in a much more natural human way. There is now also a function that learns from a certain writing style and then implements it. Let's say you have a client who always wants his content written in a certain tone. So what we can do now is feed ChatGPT past company-related texts, save them, and compose new documents in exactly that style. Maybe even the best copywriters on this planet will sell their writing style so everyone can use them. And yes, you might think with the rise of artificial creativity, human creativity is dying out. But after testing the tool for over half a year, I realized that it actually enhances human creativity. Especially in times when you have thought blocks. Prompts like write me an outline of, how would you start with, or compose an email for, can be the perfect jumpstart for your task. And by the way, in the description you can download 500 high-quality prompts for free. They're all optimized for the newest version, ChatGPT4. And yeah, go ahead and try them out. To get started with ChatGPT, I would recommend the following steps. So first of all, create a free account on chat.openai.com. You can decide later if you want a free version or a plus version. I would recommend start off with a free version and then see what you need in the future. Try it out and ask simple questions to get a feeling for the behavior of ChatGPT. And then think about in which part of your business or even private life the tool could be used. This can be something like creating an email for a client, but also more complex tasks, such as building a complete business plan. To get an idea of what is possible, check out this list. You can find numerous practical example applications in here. Feel free to save this video or take a screenshot. Also, since you have watched the video until this point, feel free to subscribe to my channel, because this will certainly not be the last video on this topic. Anyway, if you found the right ChatGPT application fields, you can now define so-called SOPs, Standard Operating Procedures. Sounds complicated, but the only thing you have to do is to create an Excel sheet and enter your ChatGPT prompts. This means that every time a standardized task needs to be done, you must only copy and paste them directly into ChatGPT from your Excel list. ChatGPT will do the rest of the work. Feel free to share your customized list with employees or even your friends so they can work on it and even add more prompts to it. And in the end, everyone has saved a lot of time and of course money. ChatGPT is definitely not a flawless AI, but with its new features, it's an absolute game changer. I believe within a decade, every company will be using a visual or text-based AI in some form. And it's not like they have a choice here. It will be essential for many firms to stay marketable at all. So what does that mean to you? It means that now is the right time to enter AI, fill niches and create outstanding products. It feels like a renaissance of the early internet age, where possibilities were limitless and a spirit of optimism prevailed. I hope you liked this video. If so, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and like the video. It helps the algorithm way more than you think. And I see you on the next one. Bye bye.